What's happening, financial coaches? It's Pete here. Want to talk to you today about how to get super high satisfaction from participants in your in person workshops. And what I am going to share is not something really that was born from me doing in person workshops as a financial coach, but it was really when I was doing workshops, seminars, and presentations for an employer, and we were looking very carefully at the data because we were doing lots of events. And we were looking very closely at the anonymous survey the results that were the results that we were getting back from our third party data collector. And we were finding that when we had great content, dynamic and engaging presenters, were respectful of people's time, we did things at a nice pace, and even if we provided a meal or free drinks or a nice venue, people would usually rate the event an 8. Like a lot of surveys, people are reluctant to give the top score because they think there's always room for improvement. And sometimes they can be right, but it's just funny when something as low stakes as going to an educational presentation can't get a 10 on the survey. But what we found then was something that I have leveraged ever since. What we found is that after you do the presentation and after you have delivered on the promise of that presentation, if you promise to give them a market update or information on how to save money or make money or whatever the topic is, and you've delivered on that, people will generally be satisfied. But to make them happy is as simple as giving them something they didn't expect at the end. Now, there are some tricks to doing this. Generally, this has to be a physical product. So if you have a digital product like a workbook or a digital resource or an online course, you can certainly give that away, but it's a little harder for people to feel like they got something because they're not walking out of that event with something in their hand. So something that ends up getting handed out to people that has a little pomp and circumstance around it tends to feel better. And this is why many of these events will give away a little gift bag or a little tchotchke at the end. Sometimes what they have is those things set up on a table at the beginning of the event. And that's actually a mistake because now people are expecting something and the anticipation of getting something is already baked into their expectations for the event as a whole. What you want to do is you want to usually have some physical product or tchotchke or promotional item that you can give to people. Now, if you have written a book, this can be a book. If this is an event around money, a small piggy bank could work, or a mug or a water bottle. Typically, the things that we've handed out that have not seen a lift are pens, because people don't really see them as unique or special. Keychains, because people aren't really going to use a keychain that has a company brand on it. They are using one that they like or not using one at all. And stress balls. At one point, me and my colleagues thought that stress balls would be a good product to hand out because they align with trying to alleviate financial stress and build financial confidence. However, in the end, most people didn't take them and we were left with boxes of stress balls. What I would recommend is something that's unique, something that makes people feel like they got something additional to what you promised them. The key with this is that if you're going to travel for presentations, you want something that's travelable, something that's small and packable. You also want to make sure that these are hidden away, that people can't see them before you hand them out. So I liked stuff that could fit in a small duffel bag so that I could throw it underneath the table that held the projector or my laptop, and then pull it out at the end and ask someone for help to hand them out. This also meant that they couldn't be easily broken. So you don't want something too big or delicate, but something that has your brand on it, something that feels unique. And if the budget allows, the best response I got to a product were the small pocket multi-tools, which are like a modern Swiss Army knife. They're usually pretty small, 2 or 3 inches. They have scissors and a knife and a screwdriver and pliers and a bottle opener in them. And there was a company that would silk screen my company name on the side. So they're very small, they're very durable, they're meant to be abused, and I could take a lot of them in a small bag with me to an event And by handing those out, not only did people's perception of my event go up, but I saw a commensurate rise in the ratings on my surveys. And I also saw more referrals to do this presentation at other places, with the assumption that I was also going to bring those same promotional items to a new audience. And so if you want to really secure satisfaction, appreciation, and enthusiasm at the end of your presentation, if it's possible and if it's affordable, I would have a small physical promotional item to hand out. I think it'll help you in many ways. Even though it's a bit cliche, they still do work. I hope that helps. See you later.